Listen. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Get that out of there. Hello. Hey, everybody, it's your boy, Matty-Rants. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This light is too low. I was like, well, okay, this isn't working. Get a little brighter, Right there. Okay, so much better. Happy Sunday to you. I know it's not the usual panel today. That will be, of course, next Sunday. It is a bi-weekly show that we have now, but it's a Just Matty episode with a lot that we need to talk about. I just finished the movie, The Deliverance. Like, I just finished it maybe like a few hours ago, like 2 hours ago. And then I caught back up to the challenge. So I'm ready to talk about that with this Avery and that dum's name, whatever. I forget his Tony. Girl, like, you never ever challenged TJ when he asked you to sit. Who are you sending somewhere? All right, there you go. Then I caught up with Big Brother. Listen, I am Mina. What's going on, baby girl? Hi, Mom. Hi. Can you stop doing that? Thank you, baby. While Mama was eating. And I caught up with Big Brother. I know what's going on over there. I don't know if it's going to be as entertaining of a season going forward, but we shall see if they pull some shenanigans. I think they're going to need to. My daughter. Hi. Okay, my little girl is going crazy. Sailor Moon Cosmos. I'm going to talk about it, give you my thoughts and a review over that. New music alert. Doechii has finally released her album, and it is everything. Global All-Stars conversation, and I want to say, like, what we say, after the storm? After the storm of Friday and I think Saturday, you know, it is what it is when it comes to that. But, you know, there is a conversation that needs to happen about the fandom and how, you know, while we want to talk about the show and while we want to give a opinion, even myself, sometimes it gets taken to an extent where now we're all looking like, how can we still enjoy this if we're going to just operate like that, you know? And much, much more, trust me, on the agenda today. So hop in the room. I hope you're having a good one here. Hold on, my kids. Okay. I'm trying to release the pump. Mama, hey, baby, hold on. What's going on? I'm coming. They're like, hey, help me out with this pump. Hold on, y'all. Okay. See, there we go. It's working again. There we go. Okay, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Ooh, and the show Baby Reindeer. That show is nuts. I kind of recommend it because they were short episodes. And wait, was my whole booty in the camera? Oh Lord, I thought I was off screen. Hey, child. All three of my kids decided to hop and play on the porch and climb my window to wake me up. I can't do this today. Listen, hop in the room. Thank you so much for being here today. We're here to have fun. I'm going to be honest and be real with you. I'm also trying to raise some quintadas today. I am short on my rent. All bills have been paid, but I am a particular amount short today, and I'm praying and hoping to God that I can make that during this live today so I can get that last bill over this hurdle and I can focus on this September and possibly enjoying my birthday coming up in just a few short days. So if you have anything, I would appreciate it today, but we're here to have fun. And I'm going to talk about a whole lot and I'm going to try to stay on this live as long as possible because I am trying to raise those coins today because I've been over here tripping, losing my shit, trying to do everything I can, loan after loan after loan. It's all of that. I'm tired. And that's why this car getting fixed is so important, because that's where my other job that I'm trying to do, because I signed up for Uber Eats and they're like, we need you to start working. I'm like, yeah, well, I need the car to start working and I can actually make some little coin on the side while I'm waiting for some work to come in, because the bitch has been applying for jobs, but it's been a while and I have not been doing well with that department. I don't know if anybody else is looking for work too, but baby, they're like, girl, you haven't worked in forever. I'm like, yeah, but come on. Like, please, Lord, I need somebody to hit me. Anywho, let's go ahead and start this live. It's at MattyRants everywhere except for X at the Matty-Rants. You can find that in the About section. I hate that they don't like us putting in the description now. It's in the About section for my YouTube channel. All the Linktree links, Patreon link, because I do reactions over there for as low as $1 a month. I have posted pretty much every episode I've covered over here, plus Sailor Moon Cosmos. That reaction is up there. And I'm going to be doing this new show that is on HBO Max. I was recommended about chimpanzees and sort of like this treatment. It's very Tiger King-ish. So if you're a part of my Patreon this upcoming week, I will be starting that series. It's on HBO Max. That was requested by Rudy Stitches. Shout out to Rudy Stitches. Then also we have House of Villains coming up in October. The UK season 6 trailer is coming out Tuesday, so I will be going live that day to talk about the new cast, so please tune in for that. I feel like there's something else that I'm going to be covering now, because Canada versus the World is off and it gives me more time to do other shows. Ooh, and then the Dragula cast for the new season is going to be announced very soon. Hopefully some of our predictions and possible tea that was spilled about that cast will happen and will come to fruition. I'm a bit excited about that. Who could be on the cast? Either way, I'm excited for that too. Bookable on Cameo, and I have merch available at dragqueenmerch.com. As a reminder, because we're going to have fun today and do all of that good stuff, disclaimer, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and content's not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individual, or wigs, and all individuals that we talk about today. Y'all just don't send hate to nobody. It'll be weird. Like, just don't be those people. Y'all never are. But like, I have to say that because sometimes we get a little, colorful with our conversations, and it may be misconstrued as me being, a little bit gross about whatever. And I'm not. I'm just here to have fun. But don't post any spoilers in the chat for whatever we talk about. And if you feel uncomfortable reviewing this program, consider some activity and have yourself a good hoot. Okay, listen, so if you want to drop a tippy poo in my jar, it's muy importante, please and thank you. I do have a goal today. I hate that this is the goal, because I thought I would have more, but I didn't get as much as I was hoping for on Patreon. I don't get the rest of that until next week, so here we are. But 216 is the goal today. PayPal.me/MattyRants is the best. Cash App $MattyRants is also the best, as well as Venmo MattyRants. If you can help with anything, it is really appreciated. And I thank you so much for being here today. So outside of that, in the please and thank you for that, and please, if you can, thank you. Exactly. Please and thank you. Let's get to this episode today. We're going to start with Sailor Moon Cosmos. I think I have this in the order that I want to talk about. I was going to do Global too, because like there's more that comes with that too. Hold on just a second. Okay, my apologies. It's September the 1st, and I'm just now realizing that school has started. So that's what's going down. I'm getting boom, 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 selling chips and candy for football and da 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 da. And I'm over here like, I'm trying to pay my rent today, thinking about this, like, no shade. Love you down. Wish I had $1 to give you. I don't got a dollar at all. So like that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's Sunday too. So I'm like, well, damn. Like, I wish it was like another day when I actually had some coin over here, would have bought something for you. But my bad. Anywho, back to this live. Thank you so very much. We're gonna do Sailor Moon Cosmos first, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to it. Listen, I get it because I'm doing the same thing. Thank you so much for the super chats. Appreciate the super chats today. If you can go through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, that would be the best. Only because I can get it directly and I can apply it immediately. Drewski, thank you so much for the super chat, though. Love you, baby. I got 5 on it. Well, I haven't seen the whole movie. I think it's time we admit that Lee is just Ooh. Okay, wait a minute, Drewski. I have to. My review is gonna be good and interesting. I do have some criticisms, but there are moments in the movie I'm sorry, Fred. Like he kind of ate, but it's also because of the casting too, and in particular, Glenn Close and Monique for me, that it was like, baby, what is going on this good Sunday? I'm talking about there were some monologues where I was like, yo, what is going down today? And the structure of how the movie went and certain things. So we'll get there. But thank you, Drewski. I appreciate that. And Auntie Joyce, how you doing, baby? It's my 55th birthday on Tuesday. I'm feeling messy. For my present, I want Maddie to recreate the season 5 Untucked Supreme Dragging of Serena Cha-Cha. Pleasers and thank you, nephew. Thank you, Auntie Joyce. I appreciate that. And I hope you have a wonderful birthday on Tuesday. Happy early birthday to you. I have to like rewatch this again. Do you hear, or better yet, can I put it in my headphones and then just like watch it go down and recite it so that way I can actually do it accurately? Like, I think I can do it that way for you during this live, but yes, let's get there. And thank you so much, LJB. I appreciate you. Big love to you, Maddie. Thank you so much for the tippy poo that actually has chipped away at the amount that's needed. I can edit that now. Let me see if I just want to edit that real quick. Thank you so very much, my friend. I appreciate you. Okay, so we're now at 2:01. Thank you so very much, LJB. I appreciate you. Down. Let's get back to this here. Oh, Auntie Joyce, let me get this together. Hold on, baby. Let me see if I can do this from my headphones. Okay. Because we're definitely going to do the reviews today, but I want to make sure because by all means, we're trying to raise coins today, and whatever I can do, I appreciate it. And if y'all need me to recreate whatever through requests, I am down for it. Season 5, Untucked. Not that the whole moment comes up first, like. Not the whole moment comes up first. Why? Lord Jesus, that is so shady. I just typed in season 5. I didn't even put in Drag Race. And it comes up on YouTube. That is hilarious. Okay, hold on. That's not a good edit. Okay, this is a good one. Right here. Is this it? Okay. Okay, I'll hear it in the background. Let me. See, but this is when it was the good days with the golden, like the silver, what is it? The gold bar and the silver interior illusions lounge. Okay, here we go. Oh my God. Oh, hell no. Little boy, exit stage left. Okay. No. Bitch, sit your ass down and shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, hold on. I have so many questions about that moment, to be honest with you. Oh my God. And then, hold on. I have so many questions about this moment. Hold on. It's really weird now that I think about watching this moment in Untucked. And Auntie, please forgive me. I hope that little bit was something right there. I have had it officially. This was everything. And I think the difference between what we liked about that time in Untucked versus now, like where we get this 8-minute little run through or sort of like a 6-minute little run through of Untucked, is that all of the context and all of whatever was started from whatever drama that had happened, we're not getting the story anymore. And it's like we're getting glimpses and pieces of it in these small little bloop, bloop, bloops. And we're then having to react from that versus how what it was with Untucked. Like, go back in the old days. We would watch it go from them being back there, how many hours were they back there? I need to ask Jiggly this question. And they were drinking and just talking, and producers were prompting them to ask questions, and then other stuff would pull out. And it's like, we got storytelling, and Untucked was its own entity. And I don't like that it's not its own entity anymore. It's simply a part of the show, and it's just this quick, oh, we sat backstage and all this and that, and then it just goes by so quickly. So I don't know. That just seeing that makes me makes me a little sad, because it's like, oh, we used to be blessed. We're not there no more. not really. But Auntie Joyce, thank you for the sippy poo on Cash App. I appreciate you, my baby. That adds to the jar here. If anybody can tippy poo today, please and thank you. Muy importante. Let me go ahead and drop down the goal since we have chipped away at it. Why is it so difficult? Streaming hard. Okay, so that's, I think, okay, no, Matty knows math. Matty's not. Yes, I'm kind of okay with math. Okay, boom, there we go. So we're now at 189 is the goal now. Thank you so much, Auntie Joyce, for contributing, and thank you so much for being here today. So let's go ahead and get to this rendezvous of sorts and get into it. Yes, Mina, of course, is on the thumbnail with me for obvious reasons, because that's my baby, 1 and 2. It was her birthday on the 28th. She turned 1 year old. Mama will be 2 on the 18th of November. And that's kind of her personality. So I wanted to make sure that that's how y'all see her. Because, yeah, that's her. My Virgo child. Donna. I am concerned about this series going forward. I am concerned. I am afraid of the fandom going forward with this show. I have lost subscribers just for my opinion on yesterday's video. Like, I'm not taking back nothing I said, but at the same time, I'm just like, this is kind of like crazy, just a little bit. I don't know anymore. I guess with Global All Stars, I love the show. I'm ready to see how it's gonna happen. And I'm so glad a lot of these girls are getting chances to show themselves, and we get that. But I don't know, honey. I don't know. I am a tad bit nervous for how everybody's going to react each and every episode just after this Untucked and how everyone took it, and oh, they're all God. It's like, what? I'm tired. Just a tad bit. It's giving Queen of the Universe 2.0. I didn't watch the second season for a reason. I didn't watch this. I didn't watch the second season for a reason, and I realized if one person doesn't win, and again they're backing a country, and it's like on a global scale, like that country is gonna go buck. Like, how dare you? And there ain't nothing wrong with that because we do it all the time over here. But sometimes, like, I'm reading comments and I'm thinking to myself, this is way deeper than what you're making it out to be. And this feels like this is so much more personal than it is. And why is it? And I don't know why I'm the one that's given this sort of bull or whatever, but I'm like, I really was reading some today and I was just like, girl, what does this take? Like, what y'all have created scenarios in your head that don't exist off of this show, and then, well, based on what was said. What do you mean based on for what? Like, I don't know. It's Drag Race, it's reality competition. This is also the same sort of wheel for Big Brother and other reality TV shows. I'm just a tad bit drained from all of it, so I've had to like mute everybody's name who's on the cast. I've had to mute hashtag Drag Race. I've had to mute Global All Stars on especially X because I don't see anything on Instagram, so it's X because I don't know if is Instagram still like, do y'all care about Instagram anymore? I don't know. I just had to because like that's the only way I'm going to get through it. Hey, Poison Arrow. That's the only way I'm going to get through it. I want to enjoy the show for what it is. And yes, I have personal relationships with, people on the cast, but at the same time, like, as much as you want to make that, oh, well, that's why you're basing your opinion, I'm also thinking about everybody who I have met from the show, outside of just people that I know, you know what I mean? And when we talk about like fandom conversations and get into that, how you feel when people are like hyping you up, however they say this, that, and the other, ain't nobody ever on your side, girl. They're like, it's great. However, it also brings another wave of dislikeness from people because then it says that I'm condoning this and I'm really trying to be supportive. But if I say don't do that, then they're like, well, how could you? Because I'm a fan of yours. I'm trying to defend your ass. And it's like, well, if I don't say anything, then what is it going to be? It's that wheel, honey, it just spins, girl. So for me, I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to keep on reviewing it. Very happy to be part of the, affiliate program with Paramount Plus. I love this show. It's amazing. I am just not going to participate on Twitter when it comes to my thoughts on said show, unless I'm posting for the show itself. Like, it's just that's going to be the new thing. That I do, like, honestly. So shout out to Global All Stars. Good luck to all the people on the cast. I just know that I'm going to feel a ways because even me, I've said, why isn't that girl on the top? And why is that girl not at the bottom? So it's definitely not me just going, ooh, it should be only one way. It's like, no, I agree. It's decisions are being made, baby. But I got to enjoy the show. And I used to do that through social media too. And I don't want to include it anymore in my way of taking it in. So that's my way of saying, love y'all. If you tag me in anything, I'm going to try to heart it. But if I see conversations that are negative around the show and other things like that, and yes, conversations that are just opinions and takes, whatever, think pieces, I'm not. I don't want it. Just want to watch and have a good time. And take it for what it is. So good luck to everybody on the show. And please don't send hate to any of these queens, please. But excited for UK season 6. That trailer is happening Tuesday out here in the States. And I think it'll be like in the evening time or something, or maybe even a little bit early in the morning. I'm not sure when they're going to post it. But I will be covering that Tuesday. So make sure you tune into that. That'll be September the 3rd. Yes. And of course, Draglet is about to announce their cast too, so I'll be doing that cast review as well. Dooley will be coming back for the dual reviews. The dual reviews. I'll keep that. But yes. Who are you currently rooting for on Global All Stars? If you're in the live chat right now, I'd love to hear who you are rooting for, and if you're excited for season 6 of Drag Race UK. If you want to Drag Race UK All Stars over a versus the world, which I still don't understand why that hasn't happened. And because like Espana's had their All Stars. So I'm like, UK, literally we're on season 6 now. You got a bevy of bitches you could use. My goodness. Please. Yes, and for Dragula, who you would hope to see on the cast. I'm so excited. So yes, thank you so much for tuning in today. It's your boy Matty-Rants. Is it just Matty episode? We're talking about a lot right now. I gave a little bit of my Global All-Stars take and me saying that I'm removing myself from the social media atmosphere of the show so I can enjoy it, review it, and not bring my animosity from reading negative and nasty comments and really weird takes and really weird, haven't been through life people trying to tell you what to do and how to feel about some shit kind of folks. Like, I'm just not for that. So, but I'm encouraging to watch the show. I'm encouraging you to support these queens and all of that jazz. All that jazz. Please and thank you. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I'm also in a bit of trouble here. I'm short my goal for my rent today. And if you have anything and you can tip me, please and thank you. I'm going to encourage that it go through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I'm trying not to be emotional while I say all this. I am currently at $189. Shout out to LJB and Auntie Joyce. You tipped in on the Tippy Poo jar as well as the super chats that I got today. I appreciate those. Those don't apply until the following month, but for those who want to tip down, seriously, it's for rent today. PayPal.me for /MattyRants, Cash App /MattyRants, and Venmo MattyRants. Thank you so much for being here today. And anything and everything is mad appreciative. Hashtag, you already know what's up. Moving on to Sailor Moon Cosmos. Moving on to Sailor Moon Cosmos. Okay. All of the good feelings. I have really had an honest to God pissy week with my car. 2 times we were trying to work on it, had to go and finding out we have to go through somebody else, and I got to get it towed Wednesday. And right now, currently even asking for rent, and I know that's a bad look for me. I get it. But when I tell you, I was so thankful that I got to watch this 2-part episode, this 2-part movie, and it was one of the best closings, I guess, for me as a Sailor Moon fan when it comes to the series, especially for the Galaxia arc, because that was the one I had the most trouble finding in my Sailor Moon journey. I grew up, unfortunately, with the Deke. I was in the Deke group of people who had to watch it on UPN at 5:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? I was one of those cats that was like right before school. I'm like setting my alarm because I had a TV in my room. I was fortunate to have that, and I'd wake up really early just to get ready to go to school so I could watch the 2 back-to-back episodes that they would do. And the Deke version, it wasn't Usagi that they would say like they do in English for like this version, like, of course, Crystal, Eternal, and then there's Cosmos, right? But like that version was Americanized to the American level of all American things, this, that, and the other. Like, baby, they changed genders on characters because they didn't want to give any like lesbian tease. They changed like a lot of the stuff up. They didn't show so many things. So my way of catching Sailor Moon was not the best in the early days, right? So I've been a fan forever. And I've watched it to the point where they used to have it to where it would be like, you would think, okay, that was one of the things I hated. Like, you would think that you're getting the entire series and all of a sudden UPN would like flip it, and it's like we're now like back to the beginning. I'm like, wait, no, we haven't even seen the other Sailor Scouts, because I would see pictures of them and I would see them in the trailer, and I'm like, we haven't even got to Jupiter. And so for me, it was always a struggle just getting to people. And so Venus is my favorite for multiple reasons. Also, as a Libra, Venus is our planet. Hello, but Venus is my favorite. And I think I forget like a lot about my youth, but I just remembered her episode and her introduction and the fact that she was Sailor V and this whole like Sailor Moon wanted to be her, but then she finds out like, oh, this is actually somebody who I'm destined to be around. And I don't know. Minako was like the girl, like for me. She was like the girl. I don't know why. I think that's why I named my cat after her. But like, I love this show. It was like the gayest thing I ever saw. Like it was like the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I just said, okay, I have to immerse myself. Then when I met Pluto, changed the game. That deadly scream is still the greatest greatest animation they've ever done for any Sailor Scout outside of Mars's attacks, because Mars's attacks are severe, as well as Neptune. Like those are my babies too. Anywho, then I got to the Toonami days of Sailor Moon, which they do have that now. Shout out to Cartoon Network for actually bringing that back. Kind of wish they did it week every day, but I get that it's cool for a Friday nostalgia fix, and they want to do the, whatever they're doing right now with the older cartoons. But like, to be very fair, whenever that Toonami comes on at like 4:00 on a Friday, and I'm just sitting here and I love just hearing the sound of it, and then I hear donna 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 donna, I get a little chill. I get a little chill every single time. Like, ooh, I'm back. The youth restored. I can't. Okay, listen. We got some tippy poos in the jar. This definitely helps. We get to chip down at the goal today for rent. First to Lonnie, thank you so much, baby, on my Cash App. And also to you, David. Hope this helps. It most certainly does. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and chip away at this right now. Hold on, we're going to hide. Let's bring it down. I hear you, Mamu. I know, baby. I'm sorry. My cats have been on me like this entire weekend because they know I've just been an emotional wreck. It's just been a long week, and Labor Day weekend's coming up. I got invited to a party, but I don't even know if I'm going to go because I have to take an Uber since I don't have a way to get there. And it's just, I've been stuck in this house, and I have just been losing my grip on reality. And I'm like, it's just too much. But back to the show. My favorite arc is the Pegasus arc, and people hate that. But like, Pegasus arc is like, girl, and isn't that the Deladia arc as well? Like, come on now. Like, that's where our favorite queen from Italy, hello, like, base name in there. Pegasus arc is that girl. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Okay? Don't care what you say. Gorgeous Meditation is her best move. It is her most see you next Tuesday. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, it's not that. It's not that girl. I'm telling you, thank you, Nerdigans. It is, ooh, I love that arc so much because it was also like a really good intro to Chibi Moon. And like that I did the relationship with the Pegasus person. I was like, oh my God, there was actually like real context to it. So it's so good. But I think the original version is the best way to watch that arc versus the Sailor Moon Eternal version, which I enjoyed. I just didn't like, I was good with Eternals, like, yay! But I was also like, this isn't the same music, this isn't the same feeling. Like, you have to see the original video. I wish I could play it, but YouTube's weird about that. Because baby, Sailor Moon eats. She eats the entire, whatever they did for the animation, it's the best one. Like, it's great. Also, there was a video going around on Twitter where this guy, I forget his name, but or maybe a woman. It's a piano player, and they're playing the Sailor Moon like intro as well as like a mixture of all the attacks on the piano. And when they did the Gorgeous Meditation, when I lost my shit, so good. Anywho, if you want to catch up on Sailor Moon now, before you get to Cosmos, in the current era of Sailor Moon, you need to start with Crystal. I'm going to tell you, warn you, because I love you. The first 2 seasons are ass. If you would rather watch the OG Sailor Moon with the Usagi-chan as the name that is said versus the deep version, do that for the first 2, like, real talk, do that for the first 2 seasons. The animation for the first 2 seasons of Crystal were just booty juice. It was not cute. Everybody's faces are hard. They were so just the way they move wasn't fluid. It just didn't give. 3rd season? Oh no, 3rd season. Yeah, we got it right. Everything came together. It's a beautiful thing. So if you want to skip the first 2 with Crystal, I tell you, yeah, you good to go on that. But by season 3 of Crystal, you're gonna get, oh, okay, so this is what it was supposed to look like the first time, with their transformations, with the attacks, all of it. Beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we get to Eternal. And then we get to Cosmos. So with Eternal, that's also the newer updated animation. Highly recommend Eternal. It's still good. Prefer the Pegasus arc in the OG series because I'm a nostalgia kid. Nostalgia old ass man. But yeah, and then Cosmos is the last in the final arc in the Sailor Moon journey, as far as what they want to show via anime, and that is the Galaxia era, and that's where it introduces the entirety of all the scouts. So to give my full take on this and whatever, basically Sailor Moon, or Usagi-chan and Mamu-chan, which again, that's why, and there he is, Mamu is named Mamu-chan. They're seeing each other off because Mamu's going to the States to go to college, while of course Usagi finishes high school. It's a beautiful thing, and he's going to propose to her, gives her the ring, but his the golden crystal? Yeah, it gets stolen from him because he represents a certain portion of the Moon Kingdom, and he's meant to be with Usagi-chan for all of this. It's a long backstory. I'm not going to get too deep, but to get back to it, he gets basically taken away and she cannot remember, and she's in this daze, while these new characters, the Starlights over here, which is these characters, have stepped into the scene. Which, if you all don't know, there's this sort of like, I can't remember everything, but I know there was this gender bending bit where in the Americanized version, it's like they're male, but they're not male. But then like they transform into women, and then like there's an I'm trying to remember how this goes. Because I remember being like so lost whenever I got to the manga, and I was like, wait, so they're not that? I was so lost. I was like, wait, what am I watching? Because the Deke version, you're definitely not going to see that, especially with right, they are females disguised as Earthmen. Correct. There we go. That was the team. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. That was the whole bit. Because I was like, wait, bring it back. Because in the other version of it, it was very like, we're just, masculine women. But in the reality of it, they are females disguised as Earthmen. And well, they're all aliens, but there you go. I'm sorry, that part used to cack me every time, especially because like they're all attracted to them, outside of their like transformed like starlight forms, and like there's always this like sort of like sexual tension because one of the Starlights falls in love with Sailor Moon, and they literally look like a more feminized version of Tuxedo Mask, which is really hard to do because he's already very feminine himself. But then you also have the storyline when Chibi Moon was Dark Lady, and because she's Small Lady, but then she was Dark Lady, and then Dark Lady was like trying to get, Endymion, which is Mamu-chan, and that's her dad, and that, honey, like that was a lot. That was now I remember getting into that bit and going, as much as I love this series, yo. That story arc used to gag me because the Dark Lady part is actually it's a really good arc too, of course, the Sailor Moon saga, but it is also extremely complicated and very it's like, oh my, this is a lot to take in. But I don't know. Cosmos was good to me. It is a rushed version. Me and C Diggy talked about that. It's a very rushed version of this arc, to be honest with you. And they did have to sort of close a couple of chapters with other scouts that you find that come from other planets that exist in different solar systems that they had to face off with. And I thought that kind of sucked a bit because there is a lot to them than the little takes that they were doing. But I still thought it was very cool that we saw that. And I did like the fact that they kept it more manga focused versus the other takes where it's like, well, this is for TV. And it's like, no, bitch, we're doing this really based off of it with a couple of little different tweaks here and there. Loved how they did they did Venus justice. They also did Ray justice. You know, this is the one I tell people do not start with. It's a good movie, part 1 and 2. I enjoyed it. I was emotional as hell, especially for the ending. Oh my God. Stay past the credits. You're welcome. Stay past the credits. But if you've never seen Sailor Moon, not the beginning point, not the jump off that you want it to be, this isn't it. This is not, don't start here. You will be so confused. Like, what are you talking about? Who is this? Why is that happening? Who is Chibi Moon? Then there's Sailor Moon Cosmo. Baby, she's the girl. But yeah, it's one of my favorite series. I love it to death. I will always be a super fan of it. If I can get all the figurines like I have, I would. But yes, it's great. I just start Crystal. You're gonna hate the first 2 seasons. Seasons 3, and I think there was a 4th one, are the girls. Eternal is good, and it sort of sets up a nice little basis for what's going to happen here in Cosmos. We did have to wait a while for this in the States. We had to wait a while for this in the States. A while. Oh my God, I was so upset. I was like, girl. Because it came out, I think it was in Japan like last year, and so we were having to see clips of it on Twitter, and that like really killed me, but patience is a virtue, and we were blessed later. So yes, very much so. I did love Mars and Venus's relationship. I love how they did my girl Venus. I love how they did my girl. I was like, she's getting all the lines. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. I mean, I don't really know why I have a love for Venus like that. I don't know, but she's always been my girl. Sailor Moon figures are showing up at Ross and TJ Maxx Marshall. What? Ooh. I'm going to have to take a look at that. Listen. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your boy, Matty-Rants. What is next? Are we going to do the Dochi album, my thoughts on it, or are we going to go into Deliverance? Where are we going, Maddie? Let me see. Oh, we're going to do Dochi first, and then we're going to do the Deliverance. I kind of want to talk about the Deliverance first before we do Dochi. Yeah, but thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Become part of this Rant Pack family. I'm in a bit of trouble and in a bind right now, and I'm willing to do anything and everything to keep my household intact here. If you can donate anything today, I've literally got all my bills up to date, but the rent is due, and I unfortunately miscalculated, and I'm behind. Right now, the goal is at $169, not 69, $169. If you can drop anything and support in any kind of way, please and thank you. Even with 73 people here, $5 a pop, or even like 4, 3, or 2, we can make goals. So please and thank you. PayPal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $SimonRants, and Venmo MattyRants. Thank you so very much. The Deliverance. I was really expecting a bad movie. I really was like, okay, Matt, check whatever at the door. I have no idea what's going on. I did no research going into this. I kept seeing so many people post about it. A letter grade, if I gave it a letter grade, I'm going to say B minus, which is still good in my opinion. Like I'm giving a B close to C plus, B minus for me, because I was more shocked and surprised at so many moments in the movie that were even horror related, where I was like, okay, this is something over here. This is weird. So the movie's on Netflix. It's by Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels is famous for doing Precious, as well as Monsters Ball, which Halle Berry won her Oscar for lead actress for. So if you want some of Lee Daniels' credits in history, he's had some interesting movies, some good movies, some that I have like, yeah, he did Empire too. I kind of, I don't count that. The Butler was a good movie. That's a great movie, actually. Really, really good movie. But there are so many things going on with this movie. And it really starts with this broken household and this broken home. And you have Andra Day, who I gotta say, I'm happy that she's getting into her acting game. I know she's been starring in other projects too, and she was nominated, I believe, for a Golden Globe. I forget the performance, and again, what was the biopic, but you know, she's getting in her bag with acting. That's dope. But it is a broken household. The father's not there. The mother is a drunk, and the kids are getting picked on at school or having issues with their mother, who being visited by CPS over allegedly, doing what they're doing with the children. Can't speak on it because it's YouTube. You know how they are with, of course, the sorry. If y'all can tip, please, 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 please. How they are with, certain words that we're not allowed to say. There we go. Come on, man. Terms of service. There we go. So she's got her mother, who is Glenn Close, that's moved in with her now to help her out with the children. And they move into this new home to, like, I guess, get away, start anew, try something out. But the house, is needed to be fixed up, and it's still a mess. Now, the thing going for it is that they all, it's always, well, we smell something in the house. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, what you smelling in the home, dear? But they smell something in the house, and it ends up attaching itself to the children, which then gets to the mother. And it's like this whole thing, right? Like, it's very much a haunted house story that is then based around family trauma. But to be fair, I have a couple of like critiques about the whole haunted house bit surrounding the family trauma, because there's a couple just a couple of things I was like, well, that didn't make any sense, and well, that's not really adding it to anything. And it gives a little bit of that, to be honest with you. If I'm gonna be fair, it does a little bit of that. It does a little bit of that. Let's see here. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to just see how close I am to my goal so I can stop stressing out, because I've been on freak out mode all day. All day long. Okay. Okay. I think we can do it. I don't know. We have faith. We prayed on it. We have faith. We have faith. Monique is a CPS worker here, and who I was like excited to see, and I think she was on Lovecraft Country, if I'm correct. Um, Hold on, I want to make sure I get her name correctly here. Because I was like, why do I know who that is? Miss Ellis Taylor over here. I was like, bitch. Ingenue. That's right. Ingenue Ellis Taylor. I was like, where do I know her from? And I was trying to think of what show it was or what movie. It may not even be Lovecraft Country. Let me see her movie credits. I was like, where do I know her from? Because she was so good in the Deliverance, but like, I'm trying to remember the movie. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, okay, okay. Why is it not showing me? I want her. This is her Wikipedia. Okay, Color Purple. Oh, so she was in the new Color Purple. I just see her in there. Hold on. Girls, I want to see some old stuff. Into Deep, Men of Honor, The Opponent, I Am Ali, Brother to Brother, Real Cover, The Expressive, Notorious. I know her from that movie. The Resident, know her from that. The Help. Okay, okay, it's coming back. All right, all right, all right. I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to remember. If Bill Street Could Talk, yep. Okay, saw that too. Okay, King Richard, and yes, she was in The Color Purple because that movie I didn't like the new Color Purple, but okay, all right, okay, I feel better. I was like, bitch, I know who this is. It's like I've seen her in so much stuff. I kept trying to piece together. I'm like, where do I know this lady? But she is this apostle in the film, right? DW, thank you so very much for the tippy poo. I appreciate the help. Let me go ahead and update the tip jar here. We are down from 169 to 164 that we need to raise today. I will do and stay and try to entertain as long as I can and pray we can raise this amount. Otherwise, I am SOL. Continuing on here, we are in this scenario where the house is haunted, the kids are getting sort of possessed. But what's happening is, and why I think I like the movie the most, is the fact that they, if I'm going to be real, they focus on the family trauma for a long time. And that was honestly the central piece of the story versus the possessions that were happening. And it was sort of like little intricate pieces of small, like, okay, like the door moved, there's flies here, this, that, and the other, or I saw something, or the child is acting funny. That's going on. The mom is a drunk. She can't stop drinking. You know, the white grandmother. This was killing me during the whole movie. I did not know how to act, y'all. I promise you. I was like, yo, how do I receive this? It's like she has this thing with black men, and it's really obvious. Like, it's really, really obvious. Like, she still wants to be like loved and like taken in. And I guess she was also like ABU to her daughter, who was Andra Day, and I guess was also a single mother taking care of her too, and allowed a RA finish the rest of it situation to then happen to Andra, which then took her into this place of which she is right now. It was like a lot to take in. You know what I'm saying? They gave her the white mom, black baby father. They did. It was, they made Glenn Close so hood. It was so funny to me. Like the way I wonder who she studied. I am laughing about that because I'm like, yo, I wonder who she was like actually like. Let me do character acting, whoop, 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 and figure out this whole situation. I'm like, I wonder who she was studying as a person. Because like, yo, I put this on everything. It was just. Oh my god! But okay, oh god, this is where do I begin? Okay, one boy is being called, gay names and made to feel like this. The daughter has her own issues with the mother. The youngest child seems to always get hurt, and he's going through his own thing. The white grandmother has cancer and has been going to chemo while also still trying to mess with all the black men in town, and has this thing about that, but doesn't want to actually address the issues around having a black daughter because she wants to still be like accepted with her white peers who may feel some kind of way, because that was one of the like plot devices in the movie. It was like, being a black person in certain situations, like with medical or like with CPS, and there's the stereotype of like, there's always problems, this, that, and the other. And like, it's the way Glenn Close's character, like, once is sort of like placed in the situation of like being down, but not really being down for like everything. Like, she wants that part of it, but she doesn't want the full take of like what the scale is. But with Andra Day's character, she's like also riding that sort of like, I guess, animosity over her white mother, and how she sort of like doesn't actually like protect her in situations where her race is a factor, and it's sort of something that's played into her life like throughout all of it, right? But then you get Monique's character, who is a woman who has lost someone in her life, who is now like working with CPS because she wants to like protect kids and do this, that, and the other, and after losing her child. And it's like this whole like conversation that happens. I got to give Monique some credit, because she did her thing this movie, and the scene with her and Andra Day where they talk about being moms, and she's like, you don't understand, you've never had this. And then she goes, it was that, let me tell you something, sister. I swear daddy was right behind her. You know what I'm saying? It was giving that tease for me. I was like, girl, what is going on this good Sunday? Jesus. I was watching this movie like, what is going on? Oh my gosh, my hair. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Is this it? Or I felt like something from behind me. Excuse me. I have not eaten today, but we are going to be just fine. We're going to make it. Where was I? I think the family trauma, the interpersonal relationships, the sort of dichotomy between the racial divide of what was happening, as well as like the disparity in the situations that's happening within this household, like, were honestly not bad. It didn't feel like a Tyler Perry movie to me, shockingly. And not to say that I'm expecting that now from our like black male directors, absolutely not. But more so, I don't know why I thought, oh, this is about to be some corny ass shit. And it really wasn't. I promise you. Like, you may not like this movie if you see it, but to me, I was kind of entertained, and I was kind of here for, okay, a majority black cast horror film, few and far in between when we do get them. Maybe they were low budget. Not to say that, anything against that, because, movies got to make money, but like, The Deliverance did a little something for me. I enjoyed it today. It's on Netflix. The third act, I think when we start to get real, it's demon time, and it gets into the horror element of it all, it goes very far. Yeah. That is the best way I could describe it. It goes. It just goes. It's gone. It's baby, I was over here watching this movie, and I said, okay, what the fuck is happening at one point in time? It's the child is in the hospital, goes into full on like Blair, and the Exorcist moment, Monique in the hospital with those flats on, that pencil skirt girl. I was like, what is going the fuck? Then it's how Andra Day got like into the hospital for me. I was like, girl, what? I know her mama used to work there, but this is crazy. when they need to actually perform the deliverance, it's not an exorcism, it's called a deliverance. There is a part where the demon turns into Glenn Close, and it's the part that everyone keeps on posting online. And I don't think I was prepared to hear her say what I thought came out of her mouth. I had to rewind it because I kept seeing like pictures of the clip. I never watched it. I was like, let me see what the hell this is. I can smell your nappy. I was like, what? It's the fact that I heard Glenn Close say nappy. Nappy. She said nappy. It was the way she said it too. And it's this little, I could smell your nappy. And I'm like, what? Mind you, this movie is based off of true events. So I'm like, to the lady that this happened to, I'm like, girl, were you in the room when she had said that? Wait a minute. I was weak. Friend, I was weak. I was like, how much money? I needed to know how much they paid Glenn Close for that one. There was also a deleted scene that we never got to, which I was like, what the fuck? I hate when they do not give us all. You know what I'm saying? Hold on here. Can I read the message? Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you. From Mark, thank you so very much for the tippy poo. Thank you. You're chipping away at this hill that I'm currently needing to climb right now. I pray to God we can meet this goal. Sorry I couldn't say any more today, Matty. Love and respect you so much. You're one of the best YouTube, and you'll get so many blessings. I know it. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you down. Thank you. Let me chip away at our jar here. We're getting really close, which is great. I can almost see the light. We're down to 154 is the current goal on the tip jar today. If you can donate anything, it is really important today. We are set for everything else that I got going on, so I don't have to stress for the next 2 weeks at least. But I will have, got some things coming in with Patreon and that. But today is the day I got to pay this rent, and we're a bit short. Thought I was on the money, but it was not. So right now I'm trying to raise up to $159. Is that right? Is it 149? 159? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. 154. There we go. Please and thank you. PayPal.me/MattyRants. Cash App +MattyRants. Venmo, Matty-Rants. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you. Back to... I have like so much anxiety right now. Back to the deliverance here. The final act, was a bit. It was a lot. It was a lot. I kind of wish it ended with the actual deliverance, but it went into another realm. And the best way to describe it to you is if you've seen the most recent Exorcist movie. I'm like, have y'all seen the most recent one? It's the one with the 2 girls. Do you know what one I'm talking about? Where it's like, oh, it's a new beginning to The Exorcist. And it kind of brought back one of the original people that was in it, the mother to Linda Blair's character. It went there for me with the ending. I'm not going to say the rest of it, but it went not with Chloe Bailey. No, I wouldn't have watched that because I like actresses. She was good in Swarm, though. It's what's the actor's name? I forget his name, but it's like he was a single father with his daughter. He didn't have faith anymore, and his daughter ended up getting possessed because she made this new friend. It was like a black daughter and a white daughter, and they both ended up like out in the woods. They were missing, and the white parents were like all about faith, but the dad was like he didn't believe or whatever. And then they find them and they come back and they're all weird and shit. It's like, oh, we don't know what to do. So like the Christian parents are like, well, it's got to be something to do with the devil. But of course, the black parents like, no, I don't believe in them. We're gonna take her to a psych ward. It's all this, that, and the other. That he ends up having faith like out of the blue. Like he just gets to God that day. He's like, oh, I believe. We're already there. Like we were sound in the spirit, and then is able to somehow perform in the exorcism to then get his daughter's spirit back, where you would need to fight a demon that is supposed to be like thousands, if not millions of years old, to where your faith needs to be the strongest thing on the planet. So for me, I don't like stories like that, where it's like all of a sudden after like, okay, she just went to church and now we're here. It's like, yeah, okay, bet, like glad they found God and that's good. They're with the Lord. But like, as far as when it comes to like challenging those moments, you're telling me the person who's been studying the word for like all of their life, 30, 40 years, full on past a preacher, has literally put their life into this, actually is of sound mind and spirit and full on whatever, whole, like complete, gets wrapped, roomped, boom, done, dead. But the lady who was just like, F all this, I ain't doing all that, just within the last day, who just found their way to church, can save the day. That was my issue. That was my only like, oh, okay, no. I swear, that was my only, oh, absolutely not. I was like, yeah, that don't make no damn sense. Nope. Like, no. So that doesn't fully give away the ending, because the ending was actually kind of, it was interesting. It was interesting. But like, as someone who went to church, someone who was around people who were what you consider apostles and what you consider prophets, and people who like have really dedicated their life to God, who have told me stories of situations where I've even experienced supernatural moments myself, to where I would never like dog or down that kind of shit, know better. And I don't like it in movies when they play that. That's my only critique when it comes to sort of, okay, we're talking about this, we're talking about that. Oh, okay, bet. So let's pay respect to that, because you would need to be here for that to happen. You'd have to really be like sound with God, because they say the demons are going to tempt you and they're going to test you and they're going to try you. And if you're not really there, how are you going to be able to battle them? Because they're going to come for you. They're going to say things that are going to get to you. And it's going to make you have to show your strength or not. And I'm thinking to myself, so you're telling me that baby got the strength the other day? No, I'm afraid not. And then this lady over here who like dead ass like has been doing, that was my only part where I was like, I mean, the thing is, like, with even Glenn Close's character, who was also just found God, you know what I'm saying? And they used to be the whole and out in the streets and all that kind of stuff, having her mixed babies and doing all that, because that's literally what they were saying during the movie. Like, you out here trying to get mixed kids, trying to be black and shit. And it was like, okay. But like, even she was like taken. And so that was the part that bothered me about Audrey Day's character. I'm like, well, your mama got jacked. So like, how is this happening? And I guess there is a scene that kind of explains it at the end, and It's like, oh, okay, well, I got that. And I thought they wrapped it up okay, but to me, I give it a B-. I enjoyed the storytelling. The third act got a little fantastical, but the first two acts were very interesting. Like, it was like, what is this? What's happening here? I also don't like how they didn't really explain the demon entity well enough. Like, they give you a little bit of a little backstory history to like the first incident that happened, but they don't really explain what exactly it is. They're like, well, it's the devil. I'm like, well, this feels a little bit more past that. Like, if we're going to do this and we're going to make this story like really believable, especially if somebody's going to be fighting it off and like actually proving that with 24 hours of Bible study, they were able to defeat the devil. Do you feel me? Like, Lucifer is how old? Like, let's not do that. Like, I was like, okay, now Now let's not do that. Like, let's be real about that. She just got to Genesis. Like, baby hasn't even made it past the Old Testament, and we're talking about we just need these words and we're gonna be good to go. Like, she got to be sound in spirit too. As a church kid, I think a lot of people are gonna like this because this feels like I'm gonna be real with you. This is one of those movies where I can see them playing, like, if it's that one cool church and they're like, it's after like normal hours. You know how they have the lock-ins at church and you have to like spend the night, and they do movie nights and it's always like some like Remember the Titans bullshit or whatever. Because, well, this name wasn't really Trey. That was the problem. Okay, see, now I gotta talk about it. So the way that the demon was talking to the child, he's like, "That's name is Trey. Trey used to live here too." Trey was the child's name that lived in the house before, that was then taken out by its mother, who was then possessed by the demon that then lived in the said house that was already like cursed, right? Okay, so like they get that name. But then whenever Andre Day's character is like fighting it at one point in time, the thing goes, "You know who I am," but then it doesn't really like go, it doesn't go any further. And I'm like, so what do you mean? Like, is this supposed to be the entity that was possessing the man that then took advantage of her when she was under da, 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 da? Is this supposed to be the thing that happened? Like, do you live in every basement? I am so confused. So that was like one of my big issues. I wanted a little more context to that, but it still was, I was never scared. The movie wasn't scary to me. I took it more as a psychological thriller with horror elements. Like, I would not put this in the horror movie category. Like, not one time did I jump in the entirety of that film. Like, not a single not a single time that I was like, "Oh my God." No, it was like, "Oh, okay." But it was nice. It was good. It was an interesting movie. Is there a documentary about the woman? You should check out the documentary based on the events Demon House. It's interesting. There is that. No, I remember the movie Demon House LLC. I think that's the name of it. I saw on Amazon Prime. There's like a couple of sequels to it. It's like one of those found footage movies. That shit was scary, with those clowns that are sitting in the basement of the haunted house. And then they're finishing up the whole event, and then all of them are just, that shit was driving me. That was scary, like super duper scary. Donnie, thank you so much for the tippy poo. Love you. Sorry I'm poor. Yeah, me too. Me too, Donnie. Thank you so very much. But this is really, really helpful, and I appreciate it. It chips away at our goal. We are so close. We are around this corner. We're almost around the corner. We are down now. Thank you so much for the tippy poo, Donnie. We're at 139 for the tip goal jar. Right now, I'm trying to pay my rent, and I'm on the last edge of glory, I should say, here today. Shout out to everybody who has tipped so far today. The goal was at 216. We are down to 139. Thank you so very much to everybody who has chipped away at this. We need to make goal today. I'm not leaving this live until we do. So if I have to be on here for 4 hours, I will, because my God. After that, I'm going to be good for the rest of the week, because I got Patreon stuff coming in, as well as I'm doing some work for my dad. We've been talking, so I got to do something for him this week. But yes, we're gonna get back in the saddle once this car gets fixed. As I have said, we are gonna get back in the flipping. I'm also ready to start doing some extra work, because I'll be real, love doing YouTube too. But to be honest, this is my therapist, me talking. She's like, "You do need to get outside the house. I think you've been in the house for like a wee bit too long. Like, as far as years are concerned, doing YouTube and sometimes just never leaving my home." So I'm like, this is also applying to my social anxiety sometimes. And then I'll meet some of you and you're like, "Man, it was fine." I'm like, "Yeah, girl," because I was putting on like 2 billion energy. And then I'll get back home and I'll feel like a complete zombie again. Joe V, thank you so much on Cash App. Oh my gosh, we are chipping. I feel like the miner in Minecraft. Is that a good reference? Right back at you. Thank you, Joe V. Thank you, baby. Okay, let's go ahead. We gotta update the jar. The jar has been updated. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Matt, I do math. Okay, there we go. You're now at 124 is the current goal. Shout out to Joe V for that last tippy poo. We are almost there. Thank you so very much. As I literally like move everything to the other account that I pay my bills with. I'm like, oh my gosh, get over there. We're gonna do it. It'll be all right. Because I had to pay the lights today too, and that was really high, especially after the whole storm incident where, remember it was the lights had been out, so they didn't count it for me. So I had a nice bill the previous month, but then this upcoming one I had to take care of. It's a lot because we've had 2 heat waves that have been 2 weeks long, and that's literally the AC running at a constant number. And trust me, I have it at 78 and it will still be blasting. Because in Houston, that heat, baby, I don't wish humidity and heat on anybody. Like Vegas was hot. Vegas was hot. But like, it is something about wet heat. I don't recommend it. I don't suggest it. It's not cute. It's like if you just take a shower and then you go outside and you think you're going to be okay, those pores are still open, so they're just about to sweat down. It's gross. And so we've been getting rain lately, which has been good for me. My AC hasn't been running, but the last 2 weeks, baby, I was like, girl, every light on is off in my house, but my AC is still like hitting the numbers. Anywho, top reasons I would recommend this movie: Glenn Close's performance as well as Monique. I'd say all the women in the film were really honestly taking it there, and they were driving this film. There are a couple of scenes with some tough monologues and some conversations that are very heavy that I enjoyed, like seeing acting wise. Also, what's the kid's name? I forget his name in the series, but he's in Stranger Things. He's also in this movie too. B minus, not scary to me, but I thought the performances held it through. The first 2 acts were honestly very good. The third one got a little crazy, but it did wrap up nicely, and it is based off of a true story or events that are true. So like I would suggest checking it out. Caleb, thank you, Tress. Caleb is his name. So yeah, I on the show, right? Right. It's good. It's good. Hold on, wait a minute. This part right here. Wait. Sissy bitch. I forgot Miss Lawrence was in the movie. Oh, actually, yes. Please watch it for just that one part. Yeah, you're welcome. Oh my gosh, I just remember that part. I just remember because she was drunk, and like one of the boys like found his way into like the basement, started banging his head against the door, and Miss Lawrence is in the movie as her friend or whatever that work at Saks and be boosting for the kids, getting them clothes and stuff. And so he's sitting in that kitchen, and he come out there and she's like, "What's wrong with you, Trey? Not Trey. What's wrong with you, Dre? What's wrong?" And he's like, "Bitch, what's wrong with your kids?" Like, not even like, is he okay? Because he started hitting, what's wrong with your kids, bitch? And then she, of course, puts the kids to bed and all that kind of stuff. And she ends up being like this hoe and all this mess. And he like clocks all of that, like, girl, get your shit together because you way too drunk and you acting crazy. And they get into it. And I'm talking about just read each other as they're walking out the door, bitch. It was everything. Also, Glenn Close with that bat, baby, they had Glenn Close bald-headed, bald. Okay. And like her full, I just woke up from my nap. I'm in my good 70s. I don't give a goddamn no more clothes. Okay. And had a bat and was beating on somebody's car. Like they had that lady looking crazy. I'm sorry. It was so funny to me watching Glenn Close's character. Cause then I realized I'm like, oh, she was wearing a wig. I was like, wait, and why does she have that kind of wig with that texture? Oh my goodness, no. Okay, yes. Y'all need y'all need to see this movie. It's so good. Please go see it. Yeah. I left my VPN. No, Dawn. Oh my God, you gotta watch it. It's a shocker. I was surprised with how much I like this movie. Speaking of Netflix, who has seen Baby Reindeer? Please, for the love of God, tell me you've seen Baby Reindeer because I need to unload. I need to unload. I need to unload. No, I watched. Okay, good. I need to unload some Baby Reindeer feelings. I avoided that when it first came out. I watched the whole thing, binged the entire thing. I think that was what, Friday night, Saturday night. Honey, 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 we need to talk about it. Whoa. I have to recommend it, but like, there needs to be multiple trigger warnings throughout. I think I almost needed them to do it for every episode versus the fourth episode. I wish the fourth episode like actually was like a PSA prior to watching it. As somebody who has dealt with that situation before, I was very triggered watching that scene several times. Like, they didn't just do it one time in the episode. No. Several times it happened. And then I have, okay, hold on. Because we got a tippy poo here and we are chipping away at this jar. This is amazing. Thank you all so very much. I'm doing one of these right now. Callie, thank you so much for the tippy poo. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and update the jar. We're going ahead and updating the jar right now. Oh, we're almost there. I think. Is that right? Yes. So now we are at 117. We're at 117 currently for the tippy poo jar. Please and thank you. If you can tip today, it is extremely important. And I'd appreciate it beyond all means and everything. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We are almost there. We're at 117. So we have technically chipped away at almost 100 of the gold jar today. And we just need that 117 down. Of course, I binged Baby Reindeer when everyone was talking about it. Loved it. Don't care to do any background research on real people involved. Appreciate it for what it is. Yeah, Jose, I didn't want to look her up either. I'm with you on that. I didn't want to know anybody else's story, but it kind of pulled me in like, I was a tad bit uncomfortable at the fact that it was his perspective. And to be fair, while I appreciate the fact that he was like taking some sort of like accountability, like, and I know they're acting out the certain scenes, like, as much as she was like crazy, I had a bit of empathy, and it was weird feeling that way for her, only because, like, I don't know, it's kind of like, if you watch Baby Reindeer, to sort of give you a short summary, this guy meets this woman. She ends up stalking him, and she basically harasses him every day via email, with like hundreds of emails every day saying things like pretending to be in a relationship, even though there was never really any confirmation of sorts. But she definitely was flirted with. He was being kind. And, it was sort of one of those stories of when you're so kind to somebody and you don't know how to say no, or be like, set a boundary, or be like, no, this is actually what I want to say, and you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. It ends up going further and further down this rabbit hole than it's supposed to go, right? And that's kind of what happens. And I'm glad they didn't take that away, but it's also like everything else that played out that went with it. And it's like, okay, is this a story about her, or is this like just us like following him through this like crazy thing that happened that led to all these events, right? So he ends up like trying to get her to, break up with him and or leave him alone and be like boundaries are being set, but she doesn't take no for an answer, and she's just sort of shows up. Like he'll say one thing, but she'll hear another thing. And the problem is that he continued to not address it. Like I think that's the point that really needed to be made. Like he never set a boundary. Like he had his own issues. He was damaged himself. And he also, was feeling a ways after a certain incident that happened, because you get some background story about this guy being taken advantage of as an artist. And, certain situations take place. As an artist myself that has tried to be in the industry and has done, multiple things, auditions, that and the other, I fully related to that scene. And it was a little heavy to watch, a little traumatic for your boy. That was a lot to take in, but it did give context to why he was sort of in between his feelings of like figuring out his sexuality, figuring out if he felt attractive anymore, understanding who he was as a man. Like it's a lot of trauma that gets based in it, and via therapy I can attest to that. So like it's heavy, but I'm thinking to myself, there were so many times, and I'm kind of glad they showed it in the show, that he could have just laid a boundary, that he could have just said anything and stopped it. And instead, he didn't do that. And he was so passive with her. It just kept going on and on and on and on. Exactly. He was already struggling with his mental health, and he felt broken. And then she would say the things that he needed to hear that made him feel worthy of that. So then he doesn't want to hurt her feelings because he's feeling so good with her around, but he doesn't want to be with her. And he doesn't know how to say, okay, stop. Okay, that's fun, but no. And I'm just flirting. I'm just being nice. And it's getting crazier. And I did like the fact that we had this storyline that also revolved around him dating a trans woman, and how they were trying to navigate that relationship, how she also wasn't going to be some sort of closeted girlfriend for him because he hadn't worked through his issues, and the fact that he felt something for her that was really deep, because after everything that he went through, she was the one that, in all honesty, like made him feel good about himself again, and like got his sort of sense of humor, this, that, and the other. And it was also mutually attracted. And he could figure out, okay, I'm bi, but I'm also attracted to a trans woman, and I want to be with a trans woman. That's just what I want to do. And, I did like that part of it, but it was towards the end where it got crazy. And then, the woman comes back around again, and she's sort of messing up his opportunities. He has like these comedy gigs he's going to. He's trying to be this big comedian. Like he has his own sort of niche thing that he's doing. And when he finally gets his big break, like Martha fucks it up for him. And I think the scene of him sort of breaking down and like telling his whole story, like his tea, like on stage, I can relate to that shit. And I was like, oh my God, but it's the truth. Like he's like, I've had it. Like I'm just gonna give it all. And it actually helped him and benefited him in the end, because he finally was free of everything. He like even admits to his dad, his parents, about basically that he is this person, that he was queer and he was bi, and that he was dating this trans woman, and that all of this stems around that, and this is the person that he is, and that he was taken advantage of. And then his dad was like, that was the gag. Oh, that was the gag. That was the gag, because his dad's like, well, it's not far-fetched that happened, and you think it makes you less of a man. Like I grew up in a Catholic church, and he's basically admitting that he'd also dealt with that situation before as somebody who worked, or there's younger choir boys that are in Catholic church. I mean, gag the I was like, ain't no way, not the trauma bonding. I was like, oh my God, that was a lot to take in. I love that his mom was so supportive of him too. Like she was so sweet. I just hated how Martha was talking to them. Oh, she did reactions to that. That's hilarious. No, I didn't like him, and I didn't like Martha, but I didn't like him either. Like he was hard to like throughout the entirety of that. Like it was difficult to. I had sympathy for him, but I also blamed him for making that an issue. Like it's your fault that that took place. It's not Martha's fault. It's your fault that this happened. Like you led that girl on, but also when you found out about her, you didn't even handle it in the correct way. You almost ignored it to a bit, like, oh, maybe she's not going to do that to me. Like, what the fuck? Like that lady was like dealing with people in law. Like she's also a lawyer too, so she knows her way around the law to where she can harass you and not get in trouble. That's crazy. That is crazy to me. Listen, Savannah, thank you so much for the tippy poo. Here's for entertaining me for all these years. Thank you so much, Savannah. I really, 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 really appreciate you. I can hear Mamu wheezing while he's sleeping. Oh, my baby. Thank you so much for the tippy poo. Let me go ahead and update the jar. We are almost there. Oh, my God. Almost to this finish line. We are literally halfway around this course here. We're now down to 102. We are now down to a goal of 102 dollar. I almost said dollar sign, but literally, if you can donate anything today, we are trying to make rent. All bills are paid, but this is the last one, and it's been a little tough for your boy. So if you could help me out today, please and thank you. We're now at a goal of $102. Anything and everything, every little bit helps and it counts. PayPal.me/MattyRants and Venmo Matty-Rants and Cash App $MattyRants is the best way. I've already taken out every loan I can, so I really do appreciate anybody helping me out today. Thank you so much. We're talking about Netflix shows too, so while I am asking for donations today, I'm also entertaining and talking about mini shows and different things that have happened here. Let me check on my cat real quick because he is wheezing kind of heavy. And I'm like, hold on, let me check on my baby. Mama. You good? Okay. I almost feel bad. I just wanted to check on him. I can hear that one nostril. Oh, because I have like them on a plan with the vet, and so we got an appointment coming up because I swear I think my baby's got asthma. I see Mina getting up now. I'm hoping that it's something else and it's not going to be that. I think it's asthma because like that was like the last time we talked to the doctor. He was thinking that's what it was too because he doesn't think there's anything else that's wrong, but I don't know. And this is why I'm glad I stopped like smoking because I was like, okay, we don't need to add any more to this and I want my kids to be good. So you stop wheezing. Okay. I woke up this morning to them like both in my face. And I just was so warmed up by that. My babies. Mina especially, like, I hate that she doesn't let me pick her up, but we have the most cuddle times. Like, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. My little baby she is a cuddle monster. But she has to be in control. She's that kind of cat. She's like, no, I need to be in control. You can't pick me up because then I have no control of the situation. Be able to like leave. I think that's kind of the big emphasis there. She's like, I need to be able to leave when I want to and just go off and go in my own little zone. Maybe I don't want to mess with you right now. But no, I love my little my babies. I need to get litter, to be real. Like, I really need to get litter. Girl, that's one thing. Oh my gosh. We're never going to talk about the election on this channel ever. I'm just going to be real with you. Not even because YouTube's weird about it too, but like, I have done my voter registration. I made sure everything was set to go. I'm very happy about that. Yay. That's where I'm at. Oh man. Oh, I said, oh, come on, come back, brother. Too much online. I'm kind of tempted to sort of just silence all my social media pages for just a little bit. I'm enjoying YouTube because I watch a lot of Animal Crossing. norm core, kid core, swamp core, frog core kind of videos with people like making their islands and stuff. Speaking of which, I need to get back on Animal Crossing. I took a little break to play some Pokemon Unite and make sure I was at master rank. But I'm getting into that, and I sort of get into some other things too, like Girl World. I hate that I watch Girl World. It's so toxic, but I love the commentators on it. I love the reaction channels. I do love that community. I don't watch certain ones that are a little bit more aggressive with their approach, but like someone like Unicorn Pondu, like Piggy, the Ankle. I've really been, it's funny. The Ankle came into my channel one day and was like, "Matty, I've been watching you." I was like, "What?" And then they told me they did Amber Lynn Reed commentary. And I was like, "What? How have I not?" And I'm thinking, I have seen a video or two, I've had to. And ever since then, I have been watching your videos consistently. And I'll comment more if you're watching this video. Don, I don't know if you want to get into it, but it is a really weird, like, you know how YouTube has its different worlds? Like there's Drag Race world on YouTube, and then there's like this Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star universe of YouTube, and like the makeup artist YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Girl World is its own entity. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of lying. It's a lot. And it has different arcs, if you will. It has different chapters. I came in I want to say like, I came in such a weird era. Like it was right when Amber broke up with Destiny and was starting to go with Becky. And then I also was with Foodie Booty right into leaving BB into the Natter era is what I got into. And like, what's funny is I've been asked to do commentary on it, but every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't want these women to start attacking me like they do other commentary channels. And some of their audience is like a little bit on the doxy side of things. So it's like, I don't want to jump into that. Like, I'm not trying to jump into that world and have my life turn upside down just for commentating on people who, honestly, you do catch them in lies, and there's moments where it's like, girl, that's bullshit and whatever. But I just like the commentary from the reactors is where I'm interested. Like, oh lordy, it's Shorty, and there's Michael. What is Michael's name again? I'm subscribed to it, but oh, Rudy, where have you been? Okay, so listen, I mentioned you earlier today. We're doing it this week. Like, I actually, if you're a part of my Patreon, I'm filming it this week. I'm waiting on the reset day, so that way they're not like, "Matty, you've uploaded too many videos in the week." So Tuesday is Drag Race UK's season 6 cast reveal. That's also going to be the day that I film like a lot of stuff. So I'm going to film the first episode that day to post to Patreon, and then I'm going to do episodes 2 and 3 a little bit later. And then I'll just keep posting because there's no more Cosmos. So I'm like, oh, I can just put that in Cosmos and then just put it in that little arc right there. And then I feel like I'm going to do a separate video for it because I've been reading some shit and I'm like, oh, I might have to do a video about this. Oh, like not like a group project like I'm doing right now, but an actual, oh, bitch, we need to talk about this today. Okay, I think we have made goal. Holy shiz. First, it's me, Trez. I hope you continue to push through tribulations, trials and tribulations. Love you down, Matty. Thank you so much, Trez. I appreciate you, baby, for the tippy poo. I see you. Thank you so very much. And thank you, Rudy, for the super chat. Hold on. Excuse me. I need to cut that down. I think I have another tip too. I need to check it. Let me do math in my head. I used to work for a bank. I should have this down. Okay, so we're now at 77 is the goal. Oh, Aaron. Hi, friend. Oh, Aaron, thank you so much, friend. Oh, My app is slowed down. Thank you, Aaron. We may go, babies. Yay! We may go. We may go. We may go. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you. Okay. Phew. Okay. Phew. Phew. Thank you so very much. Oh my gosh. Oh, my tummy. Oh, my tummy. Sorry. Oh, oh, I almost wanted to vomit. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Sorry, that feeling was like, ooh. It was like, when you have like a rock on your chest or on your tummy or something like that. That's what it felt like. It felt like the rock was like, bloop. It felt like a bloop. I was like, whoa, whoa, like a air returned to my body. My God, thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. Woo. Okay, now I can focus on this car for Wednesday. We can get back on the road and everything is going to come right back to where it was, Matty, and your goal and everything that you set for yourself and like all that shit that you wrote down yesterday is kind of come to fruition. That was one of my goals this week with my therapist, was like to write everything down. And I have not been doing that. And I also had a tarot reading. Shout out to Lucky Bear. I also had a tarot reading where it was dead ass, Matty, you need to write more. And you used to write, and everything that you wrote came to be. You need to start writing more. And I've really been fighting that. I don't know why. I don't even know why I've done that. It sounds so stupid, but like I have really been fighting that. And I wrote down today everything is going to come together and everything that I'm trying to get done is going to happen. But like sometimes I just really get in here, and then I also overthink everything. So shout out to my overthinkers, shout out to my ADHD girls. Shout out to you. It's hard out here for a pimp. It really is. But I appreciate you. Ooh, okay, let's go. We have hit it. Go. So yes, right after this live today, I will put that down and I will lay the fuck down and take a breath and order something to eat. Thank you, Trez, because that actually a little extra bit is going to order me some dinner tonight, and then tomorrow I can get to the grocery store and I can be set. And then see if I can get a ride to my friends for tomorrow, because I really do want to go. I need to go. It's Labor Day weekend, and I have to. My friend is. Oh my God. Okay, real quick before I move on to the next subject. Fuck me. I am now the single friend in my friend group, but I hate it. I like hate it right now, but I'm also going, okay, that's fine. We're good still being single. It's okay, Matty. But God damn it, I'm now the fifth wheel. I'm not gonna put pressure on myself to find a relationship, but I'm also like I'm gonna be happy again for my friend, because like shout out to him, of course. But like they're gonna do couple stuff together, and I won't be invited. I don't know why that's in my brain, but I'm like, it's gonna happen. They're gonna talk about it. And I hate that I'm one of those FOMO people. So I'm like, wait, y'all did something. Oh, okay. So my friend was like, Matt, it's not gonna happen. But I'm like, it is, because I don't have any situationships. That's done. And Marika, it's done. Yeah, that's done. That's not happening. I did have a good time with them though, and it was nice getting to know them and everything, and I feel like we're going to be good friends, but it doesn't, there's too much going on for me, even though I'm like, there's time I can make to like really talk to someone and like dive into that, but I just feel like I'm getting pushed away a bit, even though they want to still be friendly and it's this, that, and the other. But I feel like on that sort of level, there's like a push. And then there is a little bit of a difference in like what we want as far as the family dynamic and like what we're ready for right now. Because like for me, I'm not ready to like go a little bit in the extra steps, like as far as like thinking about even kids at this point in time right now. Like I know I don't want to be an older dad, but I also don't find that to be a problem since my dad is like 76 and I have a 9-year-old brother and he's like still pumping it, right? But I don't know. For me, my kids, I already got two. That's Mamu and Mina. And I love them to death. And I don't want anything right now to take that attention away from them unless it's another animal. Like, say if I meet someone who has another pet, okay, bet, like merge together. Because I mean, you saw what happened 3 days in. Mina and Mamu got along. So, and Mamu's easy breezy. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? So, like, Mamu's easy breezy. Like, he's not a problem. Like, Mina's the one that'll take like a few days to acclimate, but I don't know. Like that, I don't know about kids right now. I would like some, honestly, but not right now. I need a house. I have nothing against children being raised in apartments. I know a lot of people were like that at one point in time. You know, when we were going through some shit with a house being built and my dad switching companies, we had to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I was living in a hotel when I was also in high school at one point in time because my dad had lost his business and had to pick it back up. And then we got a house back and built everything back up again. Like I've seen resilience and what it looks like as far as my father being, a guy that will hustle for his family and the father provides, right? But for me, I want a house if I got kids. Like I need that established property. I don't want us to have to share no walls with nobody. I don't find nothing wrong with it. But I'm already agitated hearing my neighbor wake up before me. I'm already agitated when somebody needs to play music while they're in the shower. I'm already agitated when somebody parks their car in front of my unit and they don't turn their lights off immediately. They just sit in their car listening to music for over an hour. And it's like, bitch, you could have turned off your lights though. Like as much as you bumping your music in your car is your thing, and I'm here for all that, and it's Betty Davis on that, whatever. Why are your lights still on? It's 12 o'clock in the evening. It is dead ass in the night, and it's pouring through my window. And I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced that with like your apartment, living with that one neighbor who does not have any sort of like couth for people. But bitch, when I tell you, I be going through. I be going through. Trying not to lose my grip on reality and go off on folks because I'm just like, bitch, okay, so why are we doing this? Why are you making my life miserable? What's going on? I suggest if you stay in an apartment, I hate that I'm even saying this because it sounds so like this, but like, at least they give your neighbors. Please, can you? Like, I feel bad when my cats are getting the zoomies because I don't know if anybody else can like. And I'm on, I'm not gonna. Well, let me catch myself before I give away my everything. People start to figure like what floor he on and all that shit. But like, I need. I when they do all that mess, I'm like, hey, like, like what's going on? Like chill out. Like, not to be, don't be a cat, but to be like, bitch, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Motherfuckers are sleeping. That means TVs are off, ACs are not running because, it's on auto. And so you may be heard and you may stop that. And I don't want me to be that neighbor. And then I think about folks that just do not care about everybody else in the unit. I know this one dude, let me not give it away, but like one of my neighbors. Oh, he doesn't live here anymore, so I can talk about it. Perfect. Okay. Because my upstairs neighbor is gone. So like I'm blessed with that because I think they still have the unit and they just I think he moved out of it. I think it's like the family owns it or whatever. I think his mom moved in or something, but she's quiet. But like there was this guy that used to stay here and he literally everything he owned was the same color. His car was the same color. He wore shirts that were the same color. His furniture was the same color. Everything was the same color. Okay. He was one of the rudest neighbors I've ever had in my life, and none of us liked him. When I'm talking to my neighbors about this man, and I don't talk to my neighbors really at all, like unless it's some like important shit, like we got to move our cars or somebody's got an emergency, or if it's this, that, and the other, we do that. That's the thing you do in like communities. But like, it was purple. Everything was I kid you not. Like, because I could see his apartment from my window, and like I could literally see inside, and I'm like, everything's purple. This is so weird. It was so weird. Like his car, everything outside, interior, the steering wheel, like the rims, purple. So, and it's funny because I never heard him talk until I saw him at a Starbucks one time with his purple laptop, with his purple shoes, purple socks, purple shirts, purple shorts, purple headphones. And he was in the Starbucks, like having a full conversation. And he was like loud, like trying to do a business deal in Starbucks on the computer, just loud. And I was like thinking to myself, like, what's going on here? Because like, I didn't know what he did, but it's like, you're definitely paying the same rent as me if you're on this side of the building. So what's going on? So what the problem would be is he would park his car in multiple lanes. So he'd always park on the line, and then he wouldn't care like to move. So he hit my car one time, and I know he dinged my neighbor's car over here because I heard it. And he would do it often, like as if it was nothing. Like, oh, I just opened the door, oops, and then just get out and just leave or whatever. And then sometimes the car would never move, like ever. Like it would never move. And so you would be trying to get in your vehicle, driver's side, and his car is like right here to you. So there were days I had to climb in through the passenger seat just to get into my driver's seat. There were days I had to do that. And it was really, really annoying. And there were times he would honestly like pull up and he'd be on the phone and he would just have the conversation outside and he would just be going off. And then one day, because he doesn't have custody of his kids, because that's how loud he is on the phone. I know his business. He didn't have custody of his kids. The wife would come by sometimes and drop the kids off. They would argue. I think it's ex-wife. And then I think they had a house somewhere, and he got the apartment because they were in a fight. That's the tea. I'm spilling all this business. The kids know he's a drunk. That's why he's always parking all funny, because he goes to the bar at night and he comes home, watches TV, passes out, boom, there you go. Tries to do business overseas, can't do it. One day he's going to the car with his daughter and he's talking really loud and he's like, I don't give a fuck. And she's like, you need to be quiet because people are trying to sleep. It's like 2:00 in the morning. He goes, I don't give a fuck about these people. I don't give a fuck about that bitch that lived down over here. I don't give a fuck about that FAG that live over here. Me. I don't give a fuck about that NI that live right over there. And I was like, and bitch, this is dead ass in front of my window. Like this is in front of my patio. Like right in front of it. And I'm talking about when was this, Matthew? This is maybe after I got Mamu. So this is like when I just got him. So I'm steady ass gonna be in the living room because I'm playing with Mamu, getting him acclimated and shit. And I heard that shit. And I was like, I know you fucking playing. So he leave and he come back and he slam his door, do all that kind of shit. And it was another day where his wheel was on the line. I went and got a piece of paper and I wrote down like, hey, can you please make sure you park your car? You have neighbors, and it would be really considerate to make sure that your vehicle that is considered a compact vehicle can fit in the lines. Your car is not big. I wrote all that on a little note, put it on his window. I watched him from my window because he didn't know I wrote the note. Watched him from my window, pick up the note, spit on that shit, throw it on the ground. Didn't give a fuck, got in his car, drove off, did it again. This time, I took a big ass card, like, you know, the boxes you get from Amazon, ripped up the cardboard box, wrote in giant letters in the black, like Sharpie ink. I said, please make sure you park your small ass car in the line. It would be considerate to your neighbors. We all heard you say what you said that day. I gave the date and everything. On such and such date, da 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 da. I know what you said. I do not want to have to report you to the fucking office because technically this is you being a bad neighbor, and a part of your agreement is to be considerate of everyone around you. all literally on that cardboard piece of paper. I watched him pick it up. I watched him read the whole thing. I watched him then put it in his car and then drive off. He moved out 2 months later. Thank you. I'll never forget that. I was so hot because I'm thinking to myself, I think about others way too much in these moments where I can be really selfish and nasty and not give a damn and then be like, whatever, deuces. I could be that girl. But I don't. When I drive in with my car, whatever it is working, I'm the guy who then turns down the music because it's like, we're in the neighborhood now. I don't know who is on bed rest. I don't know who can't leave, whatever. I don't know who has sound issues. And I do know that sensory stuff can fuck with you. You know, there are people who are kids who are like, that have sensory issues. And so you got to think about that. Like, imagine like you're someone who lives on a unit that's on the first floor, you got your windows right there, and your child has sound sensory issues. This is the only place you can afford. And a person who's a neighbor who's not considerate continues to pull up with their music with it just blasted and blasting and blasting. And it's ridiculous. That is to me where my mind goes. I know it's a lot to think about, but that is me as a person. I'm like, I don't want to be the asshole. I just don't want to be the asshole that live here. That's how I feel. I don't want to be the asshole. Sometimes I'll hear my neighbor that I share the wall with using the shower, and I'll be like, well, I'm going to have to wait. Because I know that we're both trying to use this hot water at ultimate capacity. I know if I hop in it first and they hop in it second, my hot water will be a little tempered. And then they get the best of it. And it's like, ooh, I'm going to feel some kind of way. Now we're racing for it. And you may not get the most pressure. They may not do that. It's like, whatever. But me, I'm overthinking that. And I'm also trying to be like, well, I know is what happened. So here you go. Have the bath. I'll get in 30. Thank you, Marie. Mayra? I hope I got that right. That's not the same. I mean, that is one of the neighbors I talked about in the past before. There was another neighbor that got into like a huge fight, and then they ended up like getting evicted and shit. That was a different neighbor. That was one that I shared the wall with to my bedroom. You know what I mean? That neighbor, it was like, nah. Like, they were fighting, the police were involved, and then like this one lady got so upset that she had like a heart attack that had come out here. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Luckily, my neighborhood is actually pretty decent. I would say there are hood adjacent things around me, but like for the most part, nothing crazy has happened over here except for like a few arguments that have taken place that I've seen. But it has been nothing off the wall that I have seen over here, which I'm really thankful for because I don't need that drama. And I used to live in Greenspoint and know all about hearing bullets fly at night, girl, because they call it Guns Point for a reason, okay? And baby, I stayed right off of Greensboro. So if you know where that Shell gas station is, yes, Matty used to pump it over there all the time. Mm-hmm. And the little, is it a Dollar General? It's not, maybe it's a Family Dollar. If that's even still over there. When I lived there, the Greenspoint Mall is shut down because, I mean, there were so many things wrong with that mall. I cannot stress enough. It's a lot. But yeah, that mall finally shut down. Okay. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here today. It's your boy, Matty-Rants. We are talking about a multitude of things because it's Just Matty episode, and we were raising coin tots today, and we met our goal. So shout out to everybody that threw anything in the tip jar today. Every single one of you, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chats as well. Thank you for being in this live and talking with me today. It's been honestly very helpful, and I love talking about shows and everything with you. So if you do want to throw anything in my jar just out of love, it is available with PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Otherwise, the thumbs up button, super importante, and getting this comment section and talking about some of these topics. Doechie's album, Alligator Bites Never Heal. On a grade scale for music, A+. plus. Like, oh, I've been listening to it this entire weekend and it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It really is. On honest Bob, it's really good. DW, are you still coming by after this live today? Please let me know. Because I know we were talking yesterday. No, it's really good. It's a really, really good album. It's, to me, it reminds me of the rap that I grew up with, a little bit more into storytelling based things versus like bragging about stuff. There's a couple of flex songs too, but it's the way she sort of plays a bit with the beat. I am reminded a bit of a lot of vocal changes, intricacies of singing into rapping, into spoken word, into poetry. The sonically speaking, like when it comes to instrumental bass, it does have a lot of moments where it reminds me a bit of like sort of like a play into the 90s genres, some early 2000 mixes, very quality hip hop sounds vocally. The move, bitch, get the fuck out my way. That song slaps. That song slaps. It slaps so good, so well. Oh, it is so good. That song is really good. But there's one or two in particular that have really done so much for me. Like Doechii doesn't even know like me as a person, but like I listened to the song and I'm like crying listening to it because I heard Sunday's Best. If you haven't been following Doechii on like YouTube, they've been posting sort of like this swamp sessions and these little clips of different songs and sort of like a vibe of where their music is and who they are, right? And that's where Nissan Altima came from. That's on the album, but I wish Sunday's Best was on this album too, but that's fine, right? But like the two songs are called Bloom and Wait. Those two in particular, I'm always down for any song that has a mom, a grandmother, an auntie, or somebody on it. Just talking to somebody. Like that's why I kind of regret. I have an old cell phone that I need to find a way to turn on. But I don't even know if it would still have the voice memo my mom left on there for me. Because if I ever dropped anything, I would love to just put that on there. And it was like just a message my mom sent me just saying like, Matthew, I miss you. It just is like this whole little thing that my mom used to do when she's like, are you okay? And she'd be like, do you need money? Do you need anything? Because I got you. I know how your dad can be sometimes. And remember to keep your head up, son. Because, and like, I don't have, that's one of my deepest regrets is not having that message anymore. But like I saved that shit and it's on an old phone and I know it's somewhere in one of my boxes. I think it may be still in Vegas with Bleecker storage, but like if I can just get that phone and do it, I will put it on my computer, be set to go. I may even have something in my emails from like years ago. I don't know if Gmail like archived it, but like whenever I hear someone's song where it has like a parent or something on there and they kind of like infuse it into the track, I live. And she has songs like that, I get emotional. It's one of the reasons why I liked Frank Ocean's song from Blonde, you know, the one where it's like, don't do drugs, don't do this, you know, you're in college, da, 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 da. It's like it always feels like my mom's talking to me. But like Bloom and Wait, Bloom was deep for me. That one was really heavy. It was needed. It was necessary. Like, and that in Wait too. That Wait one. Oh, I needed to hear it so bad. I needed to hear that one really bad. I needed it. Ooh, Doechii, I'm getting emotional. I needed to hear that one so bad. Oh, wait. I was like, oh. Yep, show right. You show you show right. Like I like that she tells stories. I like that she's giving me the journey of like the struggle as an artist to be accepted with their music and their craft and like the patience that is involved with that, especially as somebody, because there's multiple levels of being an entertainer through music or media and television, and even like street performing, as far as that's concerned. Even like as an OnlyFans creator, that is also being an entertainer in a sense. And it's like, we all have our journeys, we all have our roads that we're going down, and it's a hard journey, because some people get that success and it's like, yay, but even with that success, a lot comes with it too, right? But then the other folks that are just trying to grab the light, and they get pieces of it, but it doesn't last, and you're trying to get back at it again. And it's so compelling just to hear journeys. And I loved hearing her swamp sessions. And there was this one line where she's like, Florida never fucked with me, but I always like lift it up. I'm always going to hype it. I'm always going to be like, that's where I'm from. And I feel the same way about Houston a lot, like, especially with the gay community out here. I feel so like, to me, even though I'm always going to hype the city, even though this is my literal stomping grounds, like, whenever I have never felt comfortable, I always come back to Houston. It's my home. So like, I'm always gonna hype up Houston. I'm from the H, baby. But like, I don't know. I really suggest listening to the album. Nissan Ultimate, I think, is the most up-tempo song on there, and it's not long. I wish it was longer, but if you want to really fall into her, I guess, what's the word? Her I'm going to say variety, but she's able to do that thing with rap that I love so much, with pacing and changing up flow. That really does it for me. Her artistry, that's not her artistry, even though her artistry is amazing. It's something about the way I know she's going to be able to ride the beat no matter what. She can ride that beat no matter what. Like, never a problem. Like, she can do it real. She can write it fast. She can write it slow. She can do it melodically. She can make it into her singing. It's interesting, and I hate to like compare her to this, but like, she reminds me a little bit of Azalea, a tad bit, and not too much with like lyrically, not lyrically at all, but more of like, when I think of Azalea Banks, I think of somebody who is not in a box of just rapping. She also can sing a little bit too. She also is able to like change up her flow a little bit and do something a little bit different on the beat. And to me, Doechii represents the things I like about Azalea, the things I like about Doja Cat, the things that I like about Nicki, the things that I like about Megan. And it seems to all be like wrapped in a little bow with her. I dare say she's my favorite female MC right now. I think I'm going to have to say that, especially after this album. Because I started listening to all of her shit, and I was like, I think this is the girl. I think this might be the one. Yeah, like, so if I'm going to give you a song that Azalea raps to, where she sings and it comes together, Luxury. And so Doechii reminds me of that a bit, like in that sense of like, I can hit that flow, but then go and then change it right back up again and go into song. And not every raptress can do that. I'm not going to say what name, but like, not everyone can do that. I would say, yeah, I would put her as a female Kendrick Lamar, if anything, but I'm not going to say she's a female Kendrick Lamar. She's Doechii, like, she's Doechii, just Doechii, but she gives me that Kendrick essence. If we put him with a male MC compared to a female MC, Azalea Banks vibes in terms of like, I can see her being for the kids, if you get what I'm saying, but also not telling us that we're FAs and TR this, because Azalea's like, I will give you some gay ass music, but then turn around and call y'all slurs. But Doechii doesn't give me that vibe. She gives me, I'm gonna give you that beat, and I'm also gonna be dancing and party with you hoes, like that. It's just really good. Like, I'm a guy who likes a little bit of storytelling. I'm a guy who likes a little bit of feeling like the music doesn't take me out of my vibe and what I'm feeling. And I don't know, like, I was surprised, honestly. I actually listened to the album, and I listened to the album sober, so I should tell you I was really paying attention. Like, bitch, I was over here like, what am I listening to? It's good stuff. I have to give it A+ material. It, she also, hey, can I put this in there too? I'd say K Dot. I'd even give her J. Cole in terms of like flow and lyrically, like how she gives it. Because to me, when I listen to like J. Cole, I'm like, okay, he gonna tell me a story. Same thing with Kendrick. And they're gonna play with it. They're gonna give me what I need. It's not gonna be a boring ride. It's gonna be an actual, like, when we've closed the book, we have left understanding who they are as people. Very, very much that. Yeah, very, very much that with Miss Doechii. I'm impressed. I think that, and I'm a little bit nervous that people aren't going to get her. And while we can, she's had some songs that have gone viral on TikTok and this, that, and the other. I'm like, she should be way more in the light. She should be way, way more in the light. Hey, Artie, thanks for tuning in. Glad to have you here for the live. God, I want her to get way more time. I'm almost nervous that if we give her that, it'll be like how the Chapel Rome situation's going. And Mama had to make a whole statement, then people turned that into something that it wasn't, and then wow. And I'm always like, protect Black women, because like, God, I don't need anything to happen with this lady. But I want her to get more play. And I think that her album should be considered heavily, and I hope that it is nominated for some Grammys and that they take her a little bit more serious as an artist. I think people do, but I want her to be up there, like up there. She gives a different vibe. It's not just full-on pushing of sexualness and this, that, and the other. She's also sexy. She's also flirty. She's also, and it feels like a little bit of activism in there. It also feels very relatable, like very, very relatable. I'm listening to her talking. I'm like, oh yeah, like every now and then, like, yeah, I keep doing that, like, she's talking, she's saying it. Do you hear her? She can sing, that fashion. Like, there's a lot going on with her. She's nice style. It almost reads as like this tomboy with actual like taste in clothes, but borders feminine into it too. It's like a real nice mixture of tomboy and feminine energy with her. I love that she does different hairstyles, is not afraid to show natural styles of hair and like really embrace her melanin, and just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. I want her to do well. I want her to succeed in life. And I am a huge fan now. I think the song though that I like the most, like not from Alligator Bites Never Heal, but just from in general from her like discography. Let me pull it up here. It's Rocket. I can't believe it. It's Rocket. It's Rocket. I don't know what it was, baby. I was ha. Don't get, rah. I was like, oh, got my body moving. I was like, oh, that and Booty Drop. And then I like Spooky Coochie. Spooky Coochie is so good. Spooky Coochie is so good. And then, what I really fell in love with, and it took the music video for me to get into it, was Yucky Blucky Fruitcake. That once I heard that, I was like, oh yeah. So good. Hey, Matty, just sent some over to your PayPal. I hope things start to get better for you and that you get through this period of mourning. Thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate it. And I was about to give you your shout out because I was trying to get to my point. But thank you. I see donation. Thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate you. Thank you, baby. I had a moment last night over because, I lost my friend to cancer this weekend. And I had a moment when I was in the shower and I just started crying a bit. No, it's the getting older thing for me. And I was watching a show, that 90s show was what I was watching. And I was looking at how Red and Kitty look and Bob. And I was just thinking about how I was watching the 70s show and how they look completely different. And I'm like, I've been alive this long. And it wasn't that long ago it was on TV. But you know what I mean? But it's like, as time continues, as things keep happening, everybody's going to be dealing with something. And it can be physical, it can be financial, it can be health-wise, it can be emotional. And I just got really emotional, started sobbing. I was getting emotional talking about it now because I was just like, I think I've taken my life for granted in many places of my life where I thought, oh, whatever, just do whatever. And you feel me? And so I think, like last night when I was praying and I was talking to God about gutter snipe with the job situation in Vegas, and I was also talking about my rant pack, me, my cats, of course, my family, and what I got going on. I think one of my prayers was to have more appreciation for life in general and to not take it for granted and to take those leaps of faith more often. And even though I feel like, I'm 37, I'll be 38 in a couple of days. It's not too late to learn. It's not too late to find a different way of thinking about things and sort of processing stuff. Finding new loves. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I hate I lost my friend, but I also just kept thinking about everything in general. It was like, I just don't want to sit here and go, why didn't I do this? I wish that happened. Oh, if I only could. I just want to be happy and just be thankful and just continue my days. I got 2 awesome cats. I got y'all. I got my friends. I got my family. Shit's coming together. I just can't give up. And to consistently remind myself of awesome things that to always do. Because, girl, you can get in your head and it just gets really gross. And I hate that. So, yes. Hold on. There were a lot of questions here. I just been talking. Oh, no, because DW, I was legit praying last night. And I was like, let's talk about everything that's really good that's happening for me right now. And there was a lot I could say. You feel me? It wasn't like, oh, well, no, it was a lot. I had shit on the table now. So I was like, it's just, I had to start naming them. I had to start listing them. I had to start putting them on paper. I started naming things down. It's one of the things my therapist told me to do. Is because sometimes you'll say it up here, but it doesn't stick. And then the negative stuff is louder. So it's you got to write it down. When you write it down, normally those things are permanent and it feels a little bit more substantial in things in life. And it did. It felt a lot better this morning. I was stressed still, but I was just like, okay, just get up, girl. You got to get up, girl. You got to show that world. And I think about people like Queen Kong who are getting death. I can't say the rest of the whatever I was going to say because I realized what I was about to say, but threats that are happening and other people over a TV show. I think about some of y'all right now who, this may be one of the fun parts of the week, which is so awesome. I'm like, hey, we're having fun together. It's like, hey, but it's also it matters that I turn on my camera. It also matters that you show up at the same time. It works in this equal exchange of things. And why sometimes I feel really guilty that I don't do more videos or I don't do the same thing I do with edited stuff. I don't know. My mind was all over the place. It was just cool. I don't know. Life is funny, but I think that this album is something that should be heard by everybody. I give it an A+. I say stream it. I say listen. I say fall in love. And if you do listen to it, tell me in the comment section what your favorite song is. I'd like to hear from you. All right. I need to talk about, because I don't have any more pictures, the challenge and the Big Brother. But first, Crash, thank you so much for the tippy poo on Cash App. You know, I love you, baby. This is me. Okay. Okay, so Big Brother is a tough watch for me right now. As much as I was annoyed sometimes with Tucker, and Angela gets on my everlast loving nerves, even though I am entertained by her shenanigans and complete emotional state of what the hell is happening here. I do feel like the house is going to be a little bit more annoying and not as fun for me right now. I do like T-Core. I don't like decisions that they've been making. I like Chelsea. I like Rubina. I like Mackenzie and Chemo. Okay. But I don't like Joseph. I don't like Quinn. I'm on the fence with Angela. I find that she's necessary for at least some sort of like not stability that's happening, but like she also could throw me for a loop sometimes too. But I do chuckle. I don't even think about Leah or Cam. I don't even think about them. I'm like, oh, why are y'all there? But Quinn and Joseph get on my nerves a tad bit. I think that it's cool that there are more women than men in the house. I think that if they're really smart, they'll just get all the men out and it'd be an all women, what is it, top 6? That would be actually very entertaining to see go down, especially since they all came together and then did that, and then how that would then take place for the rest of the show. I think that would be really entertaining and really interesting. It's okay, Emrika. I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't really care for how the rooms look. I don't like the AI thing of it. That's not my judge, the instigator bit. I was like, really? Okay. Like, I don't know. This season in general hasn't been my favorite. I found there've been like really cool moments and very like, oh, what the fuck? But as far as gameplay wise and strategy is concerned, I've not really, I haven't been in it. It's like I kind of wait for the clips to pop up. I'll watch Taylor do her interviews for ET Entertainment Tonight, but you know, I don't even catch the live feeds like I used to. I wait to see the live feed clips on YouTube or like Twitter, and then I'll watch like the actual episode. Mostly I do the Sunday episodes because it's like Big Brother, and they wrap up the whole week, and then we get to where we need to go to. So that's my take on Big Brother right now. Not my favorite season. It's entertaining still, but I just haven't been drawn into it like Dooley has. Now the challenge. Glad I waited for the first 3 episodes to drop to then get to where we got to now, because girl, it's messy. It is a messy season. Everybody's gonna get fucked over. I feel like I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I like the fact that it's battle of eras, and it's like several eras of the challenge. Like I've been watching since the beginning when it's Real World versus World Rules days. So I'm in the like 1 through 3 group when it comes to like my days of like faithfully watching those challenges. And then the other eras are the ones that I came to later, binge watch, figured out, started watching, do all that and this, that, and the other, right? This season has all of them competing with like certain folks that are representatives of said eras. Now, seeing Anissa there was a riot. She's not going to win. But I love her. I love seeing her from the show because I've watched her original Real World. I watched her on the olden days. 3rd place, highest they ever made. Yeah, they're always like out of shape. I don't know why they come to the show. It's really annoying. I don't think on a physical show that you're going to play a social game that can get you to a finale to then you can't perform in and you don't win. Oh, wait, that's what happened already several times. Love Anissa. Never in shape. Stop coming to the show. You need to be in shape. They're going to have you running miles. You're going to be doing shit you don't want to do. It's crazy. But this last episode, oh my God. I love Avery. Thank God for Avery. Yay, Avery. Thank you, Avery, for giving us TV and for fucking Tony's game up. Because I hate Tony. I hate Tony. I cannot stand that dude. He is such an ass. I hate him. Cannot stand him. Never liked him. Annie's cousins with bananas. Fuck that. I'm like, get him out. Get him out. Get him out. I'm sorry. I forget if he's cousins or not. I can't remember. But I cannot stand that dude. And so one thing about the challenge is, and I'll give you sort of a take on it, is that when they're competing, there's like winning groups, and then there's always someone who's like in last place. The person who's in last place will always be going into like a gauntlet or like a sort of other mini game where they have to fight their way to stay in the competition. It's going to be physical, it may be mental, they may have to do puzzles, like full on hall brawl. Y'all know the bit, right? And like, what will happen is you don't know what the game will be until you get there. And normally they won't even announce it until they pick who they're going to have up there. And it's like, you need to have strategy, because a lot of the times they'll be like, I'm going to pick the weakest dude. But then you're like, oh, it's a puzzle game. And you're not good at puzzles, but the weak dude is. So you lose going home because you thought, oh, I'm going to physically challenge everybody. I'm going to literally knock everyone down my whole way. That is not the game. So you do have to have some smarts. You do have to also be physical too. It's a balance that's necessary. There's also you needing to have a social game, because if you're in those predicaments where you need help, if you're not good with the house, they're not going to help you win. And that will happen often in those situations where it's like, okay, I may be going home this week and I need everybody's help to like solve this puzzle and switch home. So Avery and Tony are basically the winners of this week's challenge, and they have to put someone up against Jody, who's a vet, and Jarrell, who is my baby daddy in my head. I know he's straight with kids and a wife, but like, God, that man is fine. He's been fine too since the road rules days. Like, he ain't never looked ugly. Ain't never. Anywho, I was like, one of the main reasons I would watch this show is Up for Elimination and Jody. And so, like, they have to come to a decision and figure out who is going to go up against him. And I believe it was like Derek and who was Derek with again? Because it was Kylan, who was also baby daddy. He's so fine too, even though there's so much around him, but he's still fine too. It's Kylan and Casey, right? Are pansexual, I'm kidding, and like are lesbian. And then it's like Derek and who was Derek with again? Aviv. And it was Derek and Aviv. And Avery's like really good friends with Derek and like doesn't want to put Derek in that situation. And so like their decision is to like throw the other people in. But Tony doesn't want to make that decision to do that because it's like he has some sort of thing going on with the other team. And he's also trying to do this thing where he's like, you're not going to make me move and change my decision. I'm going to actually just stay this course and it is what it is. And if you want to make that decision, then we'll go down the ring together. I hope you're ready for that. Like trying to bluff her. And Avery said, we're trying to do that. Oh, that's what we're trying to do. Okay, Betty Davis, let's go. Because they have to make that decision there with TJ, like right there on the ground, on the floor. Like, okay, we're in the pit. You must decide. You must choose. Much better than Nia with Josh. Nerdigans, hear me out with that. Much better than Nia with Josh. Because Josh is cute. I just don't see Nia and Josh. That just doesn't, I don't see it. Would I date Josh? Possibly. Yeah, I probably would. I'm into that. But like, I just don't see them. I think the Kylan Nia thing, but she's also playing a good game of like, I'm about to flirt my way and make sure these people don't ever have my name in their mouth at all. Okay. Devin is a dick, but he can be entertaining. I do not like Michelle. The end. The end. The end. The end. The end. Do not like Michelle. Hope she doesn't win. Sorry to say that. I'm a Michelle hater. Don't like her. Don't like her and that other dude. What's his name? From the other season they were just on, and they were trying their we're running the game bit, and that got stopped quickly. And I was like, thank God. Jay and Michelle, yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of them. I'm glad I don't have to deal with Jay this season. Thank you, Jesus. I'm like, oh God. Just Michelle's corny ass. But anyways, Avery and Tony have to tell TJ who they want to go down against Darrell and Jody. And so when they don't make the decision, TJ always says, you do not want to put yourself in a position where I then have to make the choice of what to do. Sometimes he will then make everybody be up for elimination, and then everyone will have to say a name to get them down. I remember that one season they did that, and I was like, this is nuts. Imagine the two people who were supposed to make the decision for someone to go down, and then they don't make it, and then TJ's like, well, instead of everybody who was just out here all safe and bundled up in your clothes because it's cold and shit, now everybody's back up for elimination. You're going to have to re-vote all over again, and we're going to go down the line and everyone say a name. They did that one season. I was like, this is nuts. There is no way. You really find out about folks that day. So what he did was he said, Avery and Tony, because you can't make a decision, now you're going down here. I was like, all right. I know. So now y'all got to go down here. The thing is, Avery was ready. She was like, if he thinks that I'm going to let him win when I wanted to do what I wanted to do, bet. So we'll go down there together. So he thought that she was going to get scared and be like, nah, I'll go with his decision because I'm just not going to want to go down there like that. She said, nah, fuck that. No, since you don't want to like actually make a smart game move and do something that's actually going to actually benefit us in the long run in my game, and you're only thinking to do, we both can go down there. And I hope it's an individual elimination, so that way it's not teams and I have to leave with you. If I leave with you, that's fine then too. I stopped your bag. But like if it's individual, you got to pick yourself back up. Baby, when TJ said individual, game. They helped Darrell make it out. Tony acted like he didn't even want to do the challenge. He was so weird and being nonchalant when you're like up for elimination. There's so much money on the line. It's like, what the fuck is this? So it's like, okay, Tony got eliminated, and then Avery beat Jody, who is like a comp beast. So Avery ends up staying. Like, it is a gag. Like, they lost a teammate from their era, but Avery proved their point. Follow along. Follow with me. Let's do it this way. If you think you're about to like overtalk me, handle me like I'm this woman and I'm this man, and you can do all that bullshit. Let's go to the floor. I love seeing that. That was great TV. I love that Darrell got to stay. I was like, okay, my boy got to stay, but Avery also proved her point. Like, I'll go down to this pit. I will fight my way back in here because you want to play games. All right, let's do that then. Game on. And she did, and she won, and I thought that was everything. I suggest if you've never seen the challenge, it's a huge. We're on season 40, so and there's All Stars too. You want to know where you can watch it? Paramount Plus. Something itching like right here in my throat. You can watch pretty much almost, unfortunately not all of them, but a huge vast majority of the seasons, All Stars included, the champions ones, the champs versus stars, all of that. And I'm telling you, it is a bevy, huge list of shows that you can watch, especially with the challenge, all on Paramount Plus. And if you want a free week, Paramount Plus on me. There you go. But yeah, I highly suggest it. I don't know about the All-Star seasons, so those are a little annoying. And they also kind of prove somebody came out and was like, it's rigged. And It's a lot. I don't know about that. Those seasons are a little bit different, but yes. There we go. Let me see. Did I cover everything that I said I was going to cover today? I need to pay my rent now. Big Brother, Challenge by Reindeer, Deliverance, Drag Race T. We talked about that. So Cosmos. Chat back any questions, and I answer those questions. I did everything I did, and I said I was going to do on the roster today. Whew, go Matty. I was like, okay, I'm going to make a roster of topics. I'm going to make sure I get at least all my points across today. That is what I'm going to do. And I was raising money today, and we did make goals. So I made both goals today with making sure I talked about everything I was supposed to talk about on top of that. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for everybody that dropped a tippy poo in my jar. Thank you for everybody that was in the chat today. Whether you dropped a tippy poo or not, it's been fun having conversations and talking about our favorite shows, music, and movies that have come out. I still haven't seen Alien Romulus. I need to go see it, but I want to see that before I see Beetlejuice, because that's going to be out too. Too many movies. I will get back to you on Tuesday for Drag Race UK Season 6 cast reveal that's happening. And then also Chimp Crazy is a new show I'll be covering on the channel too. Don't forget that House of Villain starts in October. I'll be covering that show as well. So much on the roster now. But we got Global All-Stars. We've got Drag Race Philippines currently that we're talking about. Plus those new other shows I'll be discussing that I just talked to you about. So thank you for today. Thank you, everybody. Hit the like button before you walk out the door. Get in the comment section as well. Talk about all the shows that we talked about today. Your favorite moments from Deliverance, favorite moments from Baby Reindeer, or what you thought about it, the challenge, the Big Brother stuff, new music, what you think of Doechie's new album, all of that. See the Moon Cosmos, Drag Race in this fandom. Jesus Christ. Get there. Do that. Oh, and Dragula is coming out too. So yes, me and Duel reviews are going to come back for that. So yeah, it's going to be good. All right, let me go pay my rent. Let me do that right now. Let me go pay my rent before they add any more fees. I appreciate y'all so very much. Thank you for today. I will see you Tuesday for Drag Race UK Season 6. If you are on my Patreon, be on the lookout for that cast reaction, as well as the first episode of Chimp Crazy. There you go. Awesome. Love you down. I will see y'all later. Bye. Listen. Yeah.